Hey, what's going on, guys? Upright Tactical. So we got the adapter plate for the Glock Gen 6 and the Aimpoint Acro P2. We got it in this morning. So like I said, I'll be making a video on installing it. So this is what it looks like from the packaging. It's the Glock 19 Gen 6. So really quick, I'm just gonna go ahead and clear that firearm, make sure there's nothing in the magazine, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, point in safe direction, pull that trigger. So in comparison, I have the CNH Precision right here for the Glock Gen 5, the MOS. This is what I had on my Glock 45. And just feeling the weight of this. Let me take this out of the package really quick, that way I could compare the weight. Feeling the weight in these two, I guess they feel similar. This one feels a little bit heavier, but then also it has like less material too. Like the Glock one, I like how it has like the smooth edges, and the finish on it looks more like professional, I guess you would say. Kind of reminds me like the finish on the slide of the Glock, versus this one's kind of more like rugged. This one definitely feels a little bit heavier, and the finishing looks very nice. I mean, you can't see no like machine marks. Compared to this one, but yeah, I just thought I'd put it there for comparison. But so the first thing that we're gonna do is remove this plate right here that comes with the factory. And I already have it preset right here. So the Torx bit that we're gonna use is a T10. This one right here, and right here I just have the wheeler one. It's the fat wrench, because we're gonna torque it down to spec. If you guys haven't seen my previous video prior to releasing this one, I did a little video on installing these AmeriGlow blacked out rear sights, front sight. Go ahead and check that out. I just updated that yesterday. So there's that. So there's the plate right there. So what we'll go ahead and do is actually, we'll just get I'm glad I brought my Q-tip. I always like to have my Q-tips and some alcohol spray. I mean, you know, it comes in handy with a lot of stuff. Just kind of clean it. Just gonna spray some alcohol on this Q-tip to kind of get that residue of the Loctite that they have on here, or any built-up oils. So I really like the look with these blacked out sights on the Glock. Makes it look very nice. I also went ahead and blacked out the Aimpoint Acro P2 logo on the side of it. I used some of that aluminum black. Forget the company that I used, but pretty much blacked it out, but I like how it looks. But when you put that chemical stuff on it, like the coating itself kind of almost like wears out a little bit. So it kind of has like a hazy kind of look, if you could tell. Like around the letters. Like it's blacked out, but then you could kind of see on the camera right there, it just kind of like looks like hazy. But I mean, it looks good. I don't mind it too much. If I had a money tree, I would definitely send it out to get it like recoated. Just all black. But yeah. So this is the new footprint that Glock came out with this year for the Gen 6. It's a lot different. It's a lot better as far as like being able to like directly mount it, you know, like with the little crush washers that it came with. But and I believe it's for like an RMR footprint, but this one is gonna be for the Aimpoint acro. So let's see how that fitment feels. Let's see. Oh, damn, that's like super snug. That looks nice. So there's like I mean, shit, you could barely feel any movement going front and back and then side to side. Let me see. There's a little bit of movement side to side. I mean, but it probably has to be like that. You know, it's a really nice tight tolerance, but it probably needs to be a little bit loose. For whatever reason, but it fits nice. So I have some screws right here. Where did I put those screws? Where did I put those screws? Shit, here they are. Fucking hard dropped there for a second. I was like, fuck, I lost them. These are the ones that I used for when I mounted this on the Glock 45. But looking at these thread pitches, I mean, that's pretty obvious right there. It's two different holes, kind of screws and stuff. So I might need to reuse these ones right here that came with the Glock. Those screws look nice and thick too. Yeah, definitely, because these ones are just kind of, yeah, that just kind of falls right through. So I won't be using these. I'll just kind of put those right there for now. I'm gonna be using these. So I brought out my little brush right here, and I'm just gonna kind of brush off little excess stuff right there. Not the dry lock type that's on there, but just kind of like the loose debris. I'm gonna brush that out just to ensure that, you know, we get a nice tight seal. It dries up good. Because you could see some like loose shavings on there. It's like it almost has like a oily residue on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray that with some alcohol as well. Make sure we get all the oils off of it. Blow the excess off. But yeah, so I looked up the torque spec when it comes to mounting screws to like the MOS plate. Now that I think about it, I looked it up for the Glock Gen 5 MOS plate, and those screws were smaller. These look like a little bit bigger. I would think they could fit like a slightly like more torque, I guess, you know, being that they're bigger. but I'll just keep it at the 15 pounds per square inch that I saw for the MOS plate for this one. Let's see. So just go ahead and put it on there. Get your wrench. You don't want to tighten it all the way down. You don't want to tighten one side all the way down and then tighten the other one all the way down. You want to kind of go back and forth until they're kind of snug, and then you want to torque it down to spec. So right there, I just kind of have it, you know, a little bit popping out, a little bit loose. And you want to get the other one on. The reason why you want to do that is that way, you know, they're not all off, you know. You don't want to tighten it down on one side more than the other, because even though it's not apparent to the eye, you might be able to, even though it's not apparent to the eye, you might be able to see it. So just kind of go back and forth until they start to bottom out. Just like that. Just kind of, you want to tighten them down equally, evenly, both sides. And so that's right there, that's tightened to spec. That's tightened to spec, and I'll just go one more time. So there's that is, and then since I have it in my hand, might as well, I'm gonna set it to 27 pounds per square inch, because that's what's gonna be torqued down the acro to any plate. Per their website, it says 27 pounds, so you see that little red line? I just kind of try to put it in the middle. So right there, it's right about 20. Right there, it's like 25. So I'll do. Maybe like right there. That's about 26. It's between 25 and 30-ish. So that should be pretty good right there. All right. And just clean the surface on the acro. So we're gonna go ahead and clean the surface. That way we could go ahead and put some witness marks on it in case it starts to get loose. Then we're able to see where exactly it's getting loose. Whatever finish or coating they used on these plates, they chose a good color and a great quality finish. Just comparing it to like the shimmer on the Glock's finish, it looks very nice. Very great quality. I'm very happy with this product so far, just based off looks. Hopefully it holds up to the performance of, you know, the recoil and stuff like that. I don't know when I'll be taking it to the range to get it zeroed in, the dot. Test it out, you know, before I put my trust behind it. Carry this, you know, for open carry and stuff, or not open carry, but concealed carry, everyday carry. So you want to get it nice and dry. And then you just want to kind of grab one of these markers. This one's a Sharpie. It's kind of like these chalk markers. And you just kind of want to put a line on the plate and to the screw to just kind of put like a little indicator mark, pretty much like a witness mark, something like. Something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and blow on it, let it dry. Yeah, that plate fits really nice. Feels really nice. So let's go ahead and get the acro on there. And so back and forth, it's a little bit of wobble.
When you get car insurance with Lemonade, you get a price based on you.
Fits pretty good though.
If you drive less, you save.
So I see why the C&H Precision used their plate to kind of keep it flat, more out. So the bottom of it is kind of curved out because it obviously sticks out from the slide itself. And so when you have it, it looks like it's like curved at the bottom, but then the top portion keeps flush to the acro versus this one is curved. So aesthetically, like if it's just the plate alone, it looks nice. But then you could kind of see the bottom of the dot. But not a big deal. So let's go ahead and put some Loctite on there as well. And when it comes to putting on Loctite on firearms, for the most part, you're gonna use this kind of thread lock blue 242. You could get this at Home Depot, Lowe's, Amazon, stuff like that. So just kind of put a little bit on there. Looks like I put a little bit too much. That's why it's good to have these Q-tips, kind of just, you know, absorb the rest. I was just kind of thinking to myself, what position should I lock the red dot at? Like I said, it has a little bit of movement back and forth. I'm just trying to think what's the best. Should I move it forward or backwards? But when you snug it down a little bit, I think it puts itself where it needs to be though. Yeah, it sounded pretty solid. So like I said, 27 pounds per square inch. Just kind of go slow, little by little. There it is. So that's on there good. It's not gonna go anywhere. Yeah, that looks nice. So these iron sights are suppressor height sight. They're from Ameriglow, and I had these on the C&H Precision plate. I think with this new footprint that Glock came out with, it's a little bit higher. It sits like, shit, maybe like a 16th higher. You know, because if you look at it, the way the cut is, it cuts down right there lower than it does up here. I think with the Glock Gen 5 MOS system, it was straight across like that, versus this one, you know, cut down and then it goes up. So I think it's just that much bit higher on this portion, like about a 16th. And I say that to say that when I go to look through the red dot on my, when I had this dot on the Glock 45 with these exact suppressor high sights, it was like a lower 1/8 co-witness, or lower 1/8 co-witness, and now it's like a lower 1/16. I could see the sights, but just literally like the top of the sights fits flush with like the bottom of the glass. Like I could just see it through, which, I mean, that'll work. It's not a huge deal. I mean, primarily I'm gonna be using the dot. God forbid I need disc brakes and I need to use iron sights, but I mean, pistols, you should only really be even using them at close range, so yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the installation of the new Glockstore's acro plate to the Glock Gen 6 to the acro P2. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. If you guys have any questions in the comments, go ahead and put it in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video with me. You guys have a great day.